Hey guys, my name is Mike Munzing with Munzing Mortgage Group. Got some really interesting national news as it relates to real estate. I want to bring that to you. I'll be right back with the details. Hey, if you've been missing some of Brian and Frank's videos over the National Real Estate Post, they've come up with an amazing one, really talks about Trump and some of the things that he's doing and being able to affect, kind of pro or con, depending how you look at it, but really interesting information. I want to bring their video to you now. It's very detailed, but things that I haven't been hearing about. Certainly we hear a lot about the Supreme Court and what's going on there, but this has to do with the Fed. I'll be right back after.
All right, guys, so remember a couple of days back, Trump criticized the Federal Reserve, saying that he's not in favor of the Fed raising interest rates? Well, it was a move that was roundly criticized as being unpresidential and unprecedented for a president. Try saying that 3 times. Now, we all thought, well, that's just Trump being Trump. And of course it was. But then us over here at the National Real Estate Post started looking at Trump and the Fed board, and this thing right here is crazy interesting, where Trump could have the largest effect on the Federal Reserve Board of any president since its inception. You think I'm crazy? Check this out.
And put this in the context of the Supreme Court and its history of control and presidential appointees. The Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve is supposed to have 7 members. Currently has 3. Bet you didn't know that. Now, of those 3, 2 have been appointed by Trump.
And as we speak, an additional 2 more board governors have been nominated by Trump and are awaiting confirmation. Now, that would put Trump appointees up to 4 of the 5 current seats. And of course, having a minimum of 2 more years in office, Trump could nominate the remaining 2 seats, which would make 6 of the 7 board governors at the Federal Reserve Trumps. So no matter how you slice it or dice it, Trump appointees will have a simple majority or a major landslide when it comes to voting on banking regulation and policies that would extend far beyond his tenure as president. Think about that. I mean, it's crazy. But let's keep going.
Second, the Federal Open Market Committee has 12 members and sets the nation's monetary policy. Of those 12, 7 are the board governors. And as we just outlined, it looks like 6 of those 7 will be Trump appointees, meaning half right away Trumps.
So you're following me now, right? 7 board governors, right? And 5 other seats are what make up the Federal Open Market Committee. Those 5 additional seats are Federal Reserve District Bank presidents. Now, of those last 5 seats, one of them is the Fed Bank of New York, and he's already, you guessed it, a Trump appointee. The Fed Bank of Minnesota is arguing against interest rate hikes just like Trump. Yes, he's a Trump guy. So this leaves 3 of the 12 seats for the Federal Open Market Committee left in order to vote on. Now, in order to change those remaining 3 seats, the Fed in Washington would have to vote on this. Guys, the Fed in Washington is already nearly all Trump.
So this means as things are stacking up, it looks like 6 of the 7 Fed board governors will be Trump appointees and 11 of the 12 Federal Open Market Committee will be Trump appointees or clones.
So why is this important? Just think about the Supreme Court for starters. I mean, what if you had 6 of the 7 judges on the Supreme Court who are all Republicans or all Democrats? How would our country look today? And yet that's what's happening with the Fed board. But following the passage of the Dodd-Frank Act in July 2010, the Fed was given enormous power to regulate the banking industry. It moved quickly to implement a number of new rules. The Fed set up a system that would penalize banks that failed to obey the new rules. These rules include setting limits on how big an individual bank could be, how much money the bank would have to invest in Fed funds and treasuries as a percentage of their assets, which loans were desirable and which loans weren't, where the banks had to obtain their funding, and many, many more, up to and including how much a bank could pay its investors in dividends.
So you see, Trump disagrees with much of Dodd-Frank and the rules and regulations that have been put forth as a result. He disagrees with the Fed's policy of rate hikes. He said so. The media got pissed about it. His detractors got pissed about it. Trump's influence on the Fed may be the single largest and permanent, let's emphasize permanent change to the industry that we service and to affect things for a long, long time. Again, this is like, wow.
So Trump has generally been considered business friendly,
Yeah.
and so that's going to be positive for the housing market. But the question is, could he run this engine so hot that he blows it up? That's really the question I think that we're looking at. But think about this. 6 of the 7 Fed board governors,
Yeah.
Trump appointees.
Wow.
Think about that.
That is interesting.
And then all but one in the FOMC, all Trump appointees.
Yeah.
It's unprecedented in the history of the Federal Reserve.
Wow, I had no idea. They don't talk about that in the news, and this could affect rates and real estate and our overall economy for a long, long time. Certainly interesting information. Hey, I will be out there working this weekend. I'm out there all the time working, so give me a call anytime to help with your buyers. I'm at 949-689-5626. Call me. We can work together. We can get together, meet with those buyers. I look forward to doing that for you. Well, hey, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless this beautiful country we live in. Let's work together. Bye-bye.
Money.